Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing Tesla stock a little bit more, and then also discussing some recent interesting purchase decisions I made today with Tesla. Some repositioning with the funds in my portfolio, and that does include a recent sale of Apple stock. And I wanted to just specifically dedicate a video itself just talking about this most recent purchasing decision, as it was a big transfer of funds from Apple stock to Tesla stock, around $19,000. I think more specifically like $19,400 and some dollars. So this was definitely a big move for my portfolio. And so I just wanted to have some time to where I could really go in depth on this decision, explain some of my thought processes and thinking that went into this decision. And so as always, if you all do enjoy the transparency of me talking about the moves that I'm making in the market and giving explanations on those moves, then please make sure to smash that like button, especially if you enjoy the Tesla content. But just getting into this one, first off, I want to address something with Apple stock, and then I'll show the receipts with the most recent purchase for Tesla stock. But I want to mention right here and now, and before I say this, of course, nothing that I say in this video is to be considered financial advice. This is simply me just sharing my thoughts, my feelings, my perspectives about the market. But I just want to mention that although I did sell Apple stock, I really want to emphasize that I love Apple stock. I think it's a fantastic company, and definitely, in my opinion, one of the best companies in the stock market. So if you're someone that owns Apple stock and you see me selling it today, I definitely would not question your position or anything like that, because of course, this is just me selling in a position of strength where I actually just see, in my opinion, a huge advantage with transferring funds from that position to Tesla. And of course, this is all about my perspectives on Tesla as well. So we may have different viewpoints compared to how some of you may feel about Apple and Tesla stock. But I really want to emphasize that Apple is a fantastic company. I still think they are a great long-term company, and I don't think their growth story is anywhere near over with just yet. And also just keep in mind that Apple has tons of cash on the sidelines. We're talking about near a $200 billion cash pile. So when it comes to another stock market crash and the possibility, and if that could happen in the future, then Apple is really going to be sitting pretty compared to a lot of these other companies that don't have such a huge cash pile. So like I said, Apple is a fantastic company. This has nothing to do with a fundamental change in the company and me just not having faith in it anymore. This was just me selling off Apple from a position of strength. And so, as you all know, I really like to emphasize long-term investing, but there are a few exceptions to a change in your position if you're a long-term investor. And one of those exceptions, in my opinion, is when you think there's a bigger opportunity. And by selling one stock to use those funds for another larger opportunity, then I think that's one of those exceptions to selling a position when you're a long-term investor. Because as we know, if you're selling it from a position of strength where you're seeing more opportunity, that's just simply someone taking advantage of an opportunity and taking advantage of something that they really believe in and think that they can make a ton of money out of in terms of gains. So of course, I think Apple is a fantastic company, and as we know, I don't have my crystal ball to say whether Apple or Tesla is going to perform better in terms of percentage gains over these next couple of years, like 10 years, 20 years especially. So I don't know this for sure either. I can't say this with certainty, but I do have a lot of confidence in this recent repositioning of funds with me selling Apple stock and putting it into Tesla stock, because I think we are very early in the stages of Tesla's growth story. And still, of course, like I addressed, I think Apple has a ton of potential still. It's not even close to the end stages of that company's growth story either. However, I just see a lot of potential, especially with autonomy with Tesla, and I really think they will be the dominant company in the EV market, considering the huge head start that they have and advantages in battery technology, software, full self-driving technology, and so many other things. And as we know, some of the largest companies in the world are energy companies, and Tesla is obviously not just a car company. They're focused on the energy sector as well with large-scale battery packs. You have the personal in-home Powerwall products, you have the solar panel systems, and so you have this interaction with the Tesla ecosystem with the Powerwall, solar panels, the Tesla vehicles, and in the future, as time goes on, in the long term, I think more things are going to be added to this Tesla ecosystem. In the past, we have explored the possibilities of Tesla HVAC system, which I think would be really awesome as well, just in combination with the rest of the Tesla products. But what I want to emphasize here, of course, like I said earlier, Apple is a great company. It's a great stock. And if someone told me right now, here's $10,000 and you can't put it in Tesla stock, what would you pick? I would say Apple stock. It would definitely be my second choice still. And this doesn't mean that later on down the road, road that I'm not going to buy more Apple stock. At this point in time, I just feel very comfortable and confident and have a lot of conviction in using those funds from Apple stock right now, especially since it was a profit. I sold Apple at like a 50+% profit. So I just feel really comfortable putting those funds into Tesla stock right now, especially as we are in its early stages of growth. But that does not mean I won't be putting some money into Apple stock in the future. But at least with right now, I saw a huge opportunity today, and especially yesterday as well, with Tesla just being at such a discount. It dropped 20% yesterday, and we had a little bit of a recovery today. And today I just kind of thought about it a little bit more, and I finally decided that this was a decision that I wanted to make, because I knew that Tesla was at a discount and I wanted to take advantage of this opportunity. And so some more reasoning behind that as well is that Apple has been one of those more resilient stocks even when it comes to the drop days. Tesla has definitely had a bigger decrease than Apple, and I was still very well into the green on Apple. So like I said, I cashed out that position. I took a really solid profit. I think more specifically it was like 54% in gains, I think, which translates to about $7,000 to $8,000 in gains. So I decided to put all of that into Tesla stock. So just to go ahead and show you all the receipt for today, I just made a one-time purchase. As you can see, $19,496.26. That is 55.582 shares at a share price of $350.76. And I decided to make this purchase at 10:18 a.m. today. And so we can look at this on the chart right here. And so this was kind of like one of the lower points of Tesla stock today. So that was actually a pretty decent buying price at plus around 6.22%. And as you can see in the normal market hours, it ended at around 10.92%. So I actually made some pretty solid gains just on that purchase alone today. And so it went from around like $350 some per share to around $374 right now, which is actually some pretty good progress considering that I purchased it today. We're talking about like 4 to 5% in gains plus the after hours as well. So for once, I didn't get super unlucky with my Tesla purchase, and it actually went up in the short term, at least over the rest of the day, which is pretty nice. So like I said, it was around like $7,000 to $8,000 in profit, and I had a pretty solid percentage gain on that one. Like I said in yesterday's video, I did receive a recent comment with someone asking me about like, would I ever consider selling Apple stock for Tesla stock? And I replied to that comment basically stating that that has been an idea that is bouncing around in my head for a while. But as I've mentioned previously, Apple is just one of those really high quality companies where I didn't really see much advantage to selling it other than the fact that I would be using those funds to put it into Tesla stock, where I think there's just so much potential. And what was really holding me back was the idea that I would have to pay more than just your typical long-term capital gains tax. So of course that's all like dependent on many different factors, but I just say 20% for me for capital gains just as like the typical estimate. So if I'm paying 20% for long-term capital gains taxes, obviously that's a big incentive to hold a position long-term. And Apple is one of those stocks where if I'm going to have to hold long-term, then I would prefer it to be like Apple or Tesla. So it was a situation where I would be in like an advantageous position if I at least held it until like January or February. That way I would get that discount tax rate. However, like I said, I just feel really good about just owning Tesla stock, especially at this discount. It's not guaranteed to be this low of a price in the future. Of course, it could go down more, but at this point, I'm just happy that I finally entered in on another big position for Tesla. So just addressing that aspect, that's kind of been what has really been holding me back on Apple stock and selling it. For one thing, like I said, it's a fantastic company. I love Apple. I use their products every day. And the other thing that was holding me back was me just having to pay that higher tax rate if I sell it early. However, with a discount yesterday at minus 20%, and then also Tesla went up a little bit today. I think at the point that I bought it, it was like 6 point something percent. I finally just realized this is something that I believe in, and I really truly believe in Tesla long term. And this is a company that I will be holding for a very long time. No plans to sell whatsoever. And like I said, the only reason that I have sold out of Apple and Microsoft recently was because I was selling at a position of strength where I think there's an even greater opportunity with using those funds to buy Tesla stock. And even regardless of all of that, the good thing is that I made profits on both Microsoft stock and Apple stock. I think on Microsoft I made around 30% profits, and then on Apple, like I said, around like 54%. So I'm still satisfied with the fact alone that I made profits on those two. The reason that I sold those was because I see a lot of opportunity with Tesla long term. And other than that fact right there, I would simply hold those for years and years and years on into the future, because I think they're both fantastic companies. But as I've said, we are in the early stages of Tesla's growth story, and I think this is almost like one of those once in a lifetime opportunities, especially one of those once in a lifetime stocks, similar to like the Amazon growth story and things like that. So I have a lot of faith in Tesla long term. And so with that that being said, this takes up like 100% of my portfolio. Aside from the free stocks, Tesla is 100% of my portfolio. So this is definitely a big deal. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend everyone else trying to do what I'm doing just because of the fact that I'm one of these people that can feel comfortable having their whole net worth rely on a stock that I truly believe in, because I've done my research, I see what's happening with this company right now, and from this point on, I think we're just going to see exponential growth with Tesla. So obviously, this 100% concentration strategy isn't something that I would recommend to most investors, just because of the fact that a lot of investors have very different worldviews and mindsets and perspectives than I do. So I can personally do this just because of like my personality, my mindset. I know that I'm good at keeping my emotions separated from the market, and I understand what I'm investing in. I've done my research, and I've done my research to where I'm confident enough to have a 100% portfolio position for Tesla. So for the majority of the investors in the market, they would say what I'm doing is very, very risky. Some people would say I'm pretty much crazy for this and that I'm going to lose everything. I've already gotten those comments even before I had just one position. I got those comments when I had like 3 different major positions of concentration. So obviously I'm going to look super crazy now, but this is a company that I truly believe in. And so, as a lot of you know, all of my net worth is in the stock market. There's pretty much no money in my bank account right now. Every single bit of cash that I own is in the stock market currently. So this is pretty much a bet of my lifetime. And I'm using pretty much every single bit of my money that I've worked for over my 22 years that I've lived in life on this one investment. So for the perspective of a lot of people, they would view this as extremely risky and it wouldn't be recommended. But I just want to explain my thoughts and feelings and perspectives. You all don't need to worry about me too much. I understand the risk that I am taking with this position right now. Trust me, I understand this. So anyways, I just wanted to share a little update on this most recent purchase, repositioning of funding within my portfolio, and just provide some perspectives and the things that I thought of when I went through that thought process of thinking about actually selling Apple stock to get a bigger position in Tesla stock. And so like I said, Apple is a fantastic company. I think it's going to do very, very well in the long term. And it's one of those where if I wasn't using those funds to buy Tesla stock, then I would simply just keep that position. But I just see so much opportunity with Tesla right now. And of course, we've had so many different news pieces that is just reinforcing my confidence even further. You had the Model 3 sales numbers in China going up by like 7% just month over month from July to August. That was just announced yesterday. And then we also have the huge announcement of how the Model Y is actually expected to possibly start production in the Shanghai Gigafactory in November compared to the goal, which was like early Q1 of 2021. So they've actually gotten a lot more progress on the phase 2 construction of the Shanghai Gigafactory than they were actually expecting. And then we also had the discussion of 8 gigapresses in the Berlin Gigafactory, which is going to be a game changer for efficiency and production and just ramping up that production as much as possible. So a lot of good news pieces lately as well, aside from all of the negative things going on. So I think it's important, aside from just all of these negative stock movements that we've seen over like the last week, to actually pay attention to the news pieces that are being released. If you avoid all of the emotions going on with like Tesla's red days over these past few days and actually look at the information that is coming out, it's really forward looking for Tesla as expected. So anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you all do enjoy these Tesla videos and the transparency, and also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you'll get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 if you sign up with my link and deposit $100 into your account, and you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stocks. So I just want to let you all know about that, but I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.